Good afternoon, and I welcome you, students. We are going to start a new topic, very, very important topic, the fundamental unit of life. Before that, we will have 1 to 2 minutes of Om Mantra meditation. What is Om Mantra meditation? We want to relax ourselves, we want to be quiet, we want to remove those negative energies which are in our mind. It appears we are tired, we are exhausted because you have worked hard, students. We will close our eyes. What will we do? Close our eyes. Then inhale from the nostrils, two nostrils. You have nostrils, nose, inhale from the nose. When you will inhale, your belly will inflate like a balloon. You will feel the oxygen, and then when you will exhale with Om, with the sound of Om from the mouth. Om. The vibrations of Om are very good. You will experience these vibrations start from stomach, go toward this throat, then through the mouth, and then healing takes place all over the entire body. And in the head also you will experience vibrations. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will take my glasses off. You will close your eyes and your palms like this comfortably on the 2 feet which you have, or on the table which you are sitting. Sit in a very, very comfortable and relaxed manner. Very comfortable. Your feet are on the ground. Remove any tension or stress in any part of the body. Do you have any tension, any pressure on any part of the body? Relax it. Relax your body. Relax your mind. Relax your head. Relax your chest. Relax your stomach. Your feet. Everything relax. Inhale. Second round, inhale. Last round. Inhale. Come back. Now bring awareness to the present moment. Rub your hands. Heat energy, healing energy. Gently put this healing energy on your eyes, on your face. Gently massage your face, eyes, forehead, your cheeks, your neck, ears, head. Slowly, you can open your eyes with smiles on your face. Are you back?
Yes, sir.
Do you experience the relaxation?
Yes, sir.
The Om mantra, the sound that you can see it, thing, vibrations in your stomach. From the stomach it goes, and from the mouth and the head also there are vibrations. We are attracting positive energy, positive vibrations, and we are removing tension, stress, negative parts of the energies which are inside the body throughout the day. When you work, when you eat, when you drink, so many things, a lot of toxins are there in the body, they are out. So we can focus, we can concentrate and try to learn what we are having a lesson now, the fundamental unit of life. So we are back, we are ready, we have energy. Do you have energy? Yes or no? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I work without energy? The answer is no. Energy has to be there. Okay. All right. Welcome back. Very, very important topic I am talking about. Let me say chapter 5 of the 9th class NCERT book. He says the fundamental unit of life. What do you mean by unit of life? You have a body? Do you have a body? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
That means every living organism has a body. Is it right? Let it be any living organism, how small it may be, What it will happen, if there is any living organism, it will have a body. That means, what is your body? Inside the body, do you have what we have inside the body, student? You have certain organ systems. Tell me, do you have organ systems?
Yes, sir.
What system you have? What system you have inside your body? If I say human being, animals also have organ system. Everything has organ systems. Any living organism. Blood circulation is going on inside your body. You have a heart. Heart is pumping the blood. You have kidneys. They are filtering the blood. You have lungs. Lungs are inhaling the oxygen. You have a digestive system. You have a stomach, intestines. That means inside the body, we have organ system. Organ system means there are a lot of organs inside the body. What type of organs you have? Tell me. Do you have heart? You have lungs? You have kidneys?
Yes, sir.
You have arteries? You have veins? So there are organs inside the body. Organs. And what is these organs made up of? Tissues. And what are the tissue, students? They are made up of very, very tiny particles, tiny cells. They are made up of very, very tiny cells, we are seeing. Tiny cells, tiny cells. What do you mean by tiny cells? There is some fundamental unit of life. That's what we are saying. He says the fundamental unit of life. When you make a wall, you make the wall from bricks. Am I right? This
Yes,
is
sir.
my brick. Now you can repeat the bricks. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is happening? You are building a wall. Are you building a wall? From where? Bricks. And then I can say this each brick is a fundamental unit of the wall. Is it a fundamental unit of the wall?
Yes,
One
sir.
brick, you put 1000 bricks, you put 2000. So you are making the wall from the brick. A brick is a fundamental unit of the wall. That means every living organism is made up of some very, very small units. Is made up of a fundamental unit, which is very, very small. That is what we are saying. This is a cell. What we are saying? Cell. So every living organism has a fundamental unit. That's what we are saying, unit of life. And that fundamental unit is what we know, cell. That is a very, very smallest unit from which we will be able to create, students, the systems, the tissues, the organs, and then our entire body. Our entire body
That is why the name is fundamental unit of life. That every life has a fundamental unit, is made up of very, very tiny cells. The cells, what are the cells we are going to study in this chapter? What type of cells are there? What are the cells in the human beings, animals, or plants, or other organisms which are existing? But let it be any organism, how small it may be, how big it may be, it will be made up of some fundamental units, which we are saying cells. The question is the cell discovery. First point, how the cell was discovered. Cell discovery. There is an English physicist, Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke. You have heard the name of Robert Hooke?
Yes,
In
sir.
1665. 1665, I am saying. What he made thin slices of cork. What is a cork? What is cork? You know, dead, from the dead parts of the plants, they are getting slices of cork, and likened the body partition. He observed to the cells, small rooms in a monastery. The cell walls observed by Hooke gave no indication of the nucleus and other found in most of the living cells. This is the first experiment in 1665. As you will see, this is Robert Hooke, English scientist. He was studying the cork, dead cells of a oak bark. These are what is the cork? Cork is the dead cells. Dead cells of oak bark. He made his own simple telescope, whatever it is, whatever microscope. He has made his own simple microscope. As you can see, it will magnify the image. Some lenses, he is putting lenses to magnify the images. What he noticed, repeated geometric box-shaped structures called themselves. And this is what he observed when he was observing in this simple microscope which he has made himself. He observed geometric box-shaped structures, and he has seen in the monastery small rooms. So it looked like small cells. So he wrote that there are small cells. There are small structures which he called them cells, just like small rooms. That was in 1665. But that's all. It is a very simple thing. He said that this dead cells of uh, cells of the oak bark, which he said cork is made up of dead cells of the old bark. He saw these small cells in that. That was by Robert Hooke, 1665. Here we can do an activity. Take a small piece of an onion bulb. You have seen an onion. Inside the onion, you have seen onion bulb.
Yes, sir.
With the help of pair of forceps, we can peel off the skin called epidermis. From the concave side inner layer of the onion, this layer can be put immediately in a watch glass containing water. You put this layer in a watch glass. This activity you will do in your science lab. You have a science lab in the school, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can do that. This will prevent peel from getting folded or getting dried. It should not be folded, so we are putting it in water. What do we do with the peel? Take a glass slide, put a drop of water on it, transfer a small piece of peel from watch glass to the slide. Make sure the peel is perfectly flat on the slide. A thin camel hair paint brush might be necessary to help transfer the peel. You can take a thin paint brush so to transfer it. Now put a drop of saffron solution on this piece followed by a cover slip. Saffron solution is used in the lab. Student, take care to avoid bubbles while putting the cover slip with the help of mounting needle. Ask your teacher for help. We have prepared a temporary mount of onion peel and observe this slide under lower power followed by high powers of compound microscope. In the lab, you have a compound microscope.
Yes.
There are two lenses in it. What it does, What the compound microscope will do? It will magnify the image. What it will do? Magnify the image. What will happen? This is the picture of the compound microscope. As you will see, this is a slide here. Then there is an objective lens, there is an eyepiece, and you can make the adjustments. What you observe in this, what is the observation? Can you tell me what is the observation? As you will look through the lens, what you observe?
A small brick-like structure.
Okay, this is a picture which is observed, students, and we can draw the structure. We are able to see through the microscope, and it will look like this. What it shows, what this activity shows to us, students? What it shows? What it shows? What do you see? Do you see similar structures or different structures in here?
Similar.
So you are able to see similar structures here, and what we are calling them as cells. And also inside the cell, what you are seeing, what we call it, nucleus. So our observation is, we are observing, student. You have to make observations. So you are seeing similar structures. So what you are calling, these are cells. And inside the cell also you are observing, you see this, what we call as. So you are seeing the similar structures, and the structures look similar to each other. They form a big structure together like an onion bulb. So you can take the bulbs of different sizes. They have similar small structures under a microscope. So what you can do, students, that you can perform this activity, and that onion bulbs of different sizes. You can take onion bulbs of different sizes. Take onion bulbs of different sizes, okay, and see them under the microscope. They have similar, what we find, they have similar type of structure. They look similar, okay. The activity that they have similar small structures. They have similar small structures. So not only onions, but all organisms that we observe around are, these are what we call as, they are made up of cells. What we call them as cells.
Yes.
The smallest structure which we see is called cells. And what we are saying, that all organisms are made up of fundamental units. The smallest unit, the fundamental unit, is called cells. Different organs will be made up of different type of cells, because different type of cell perform different functions in the body, in the organisms. So which is the fundamental unit of our life? Cell. Cells are the fundamental units of life. We can do activities to show that. What we are saying, these structures look similar to each other. Together they form a big structure like an onion bulb. And we find from this activity that onion bulbs of different sizes have similar small structure visible under microscope. The cells of onion peel will all look the same regardless. They will all look the same regardless of the size of the onion they came from. So what structures we are observing? Note it down, student. Note it down. Observation and activities, experiments are essential in science. You know, that is how we get information. That is how we get information. The first thing we are saying, all the organs you are made up of. they have cells, which is the fundamental unit. And this is the smallest unit. Any living organism will have cells. Plants will also have cells. And we will study what type of cells are there, what is inside the cell. All this we will study in this chapter. Further important point to note that questions could be put in the exam. Cells were first discovered. Question is discovery of cell. First question, discovery of cell. What is your answer? Discovery of cell. Robert, 1665. Robert Hooke. Okay. But he observed what? He observed the cork under compound microscope. He observed the cells in a cork slice with the help of a primitive microscope. He used his own primitive microscope. Then in 1674, what is the name? Leeuwenhoek. Leeuwenhoek, 1675, with improved microscope, discovered free living cells. Free living cells were in pond of water. And that is the second point. When we discuss the discovery of the cell, this is the second point. Third, it was Robert Brown in 1831. In 1831, Robert Brown. You are saying it is a cell. What is inside the cell? That we will study in this chapter. Robert Brown discovered the nucleus in the cell. What he discovered? Nucleus in the cell. What is nucleus? We will study in this chapter. If there is a cell in our body, it has a nucleus. Okay. Then Purkinje in 1839 coined the term protoplasm for the fluid of the cell. 1839. What is the name? Purkinje, what he discovered, he coined the term protoplasm. What is that? There is some liquid, there is a fluid substance in the cell. Fluid substance in the cell. What is that? Fluid substance. Fluid substance where? In the cell. Fluid substance in the cell. The cell theory that all plants and animals are composed of cells. And what is the cell theory? What is the cell theory? All plants and animals are composed of cells. What I am saying? All plants and animals, they are composed of
cells.
Cell is the fundamental unit of life. That's what we are saying. This was presented by two biologists. What is their name? 1838 and 1839. One is, what is his name? Make sure the spelling, this question could be put up in the paper. Sheldon and Schwann. Okay? They have put up a cell theory that all plants and animals are composed of cells. Then came further 1855 Virchow. What he says? All cells arise from pre-existing cells. All cells arise from pre-existing cells. That makes important point. Where this, how the cells are produced? There are already cells from that they are produced. So pre-existing cells. So with the discovery of electron microscope, it was possible to observe and understand the complex structure of the cell. Now the question is, we know the cell theory. What is cell theory, students? What is cell theory?
That all the plants and animals are made up of cells.
Now the question will be to find the structure of the cell. I say everything is made up of cell. You will say, then what is the cell? What is inside the cell? What is outside the cell? What is the structure of the cell? So this is a complex thing because these cells are very, very small, very, very small. Can I see with the naked eye? No. Then how will I make observation and study? As in 1940, what happened? 1940, this is after about 100 years. How many years? You can see 1855 to 1940. So after about 90 years, we are saying what happened? There was discovery of electron microscope, and it became possible to observe. What it did to observe and understand complex structure of the cell. Complex structure of the cell. And the cell has got organelles and the various organelles. So complex structure of the cells and what it is made up of? Organelles. The organelles which are present in the cell. Therefore, up to now the story is very clear. What it is clear? What is the fundamental unit of life? Tell me, what is the fundamental unit of life? Cell?
Cell.
Who discovered the cell?
Robert Hooke.
Who discovered the first free living cell?
Sir Leeuwenhoek.
Who discovered the nucleus of the cell?
Sir Robert Brown.
Okay. And who proposed the cell theory?
Celandine and Schwann.
Such questions will be asked to you students. They have been asked repeatedly in different papers. Okay. So sure what type of question is there. How we were able to discover the cells? By using because they are very small, microscopic in size. What we are using? Compound microscopes. Compound microscopes are used. So the invention of magnifying lenses led to discovery of microscopic world. Very important point. What is microscopic, which we cannot see with our eyes? Microscopic word cannot be seen by the eyes. Then what we see? How we see the microscopic word? By using magnifying glasses. We will use magnifying lenses in order to observe the microscopic world. It is now known that a single cell may constitute a whole organism. You know which organism is made up of only single cell? Single cell organism. Amoeba. Amoeba has only single cell, and magnifying lenses are useful for this. Chlamydomonas and Paramecium and bacteria, these organisms are called unicellular organisms. What are unicellular organisms? Give the names. Tell me, which are unicellular organisms?
Amoeba,
Here, what is this?
Chlamydomonas,
And
Paramecium, and bacteria.
Paramecium and bacteria. They are unicellular organisms. On the other hand, many cells group together in a single body and assume different functions. In our human body is very complex. There are different organs, there are different organ systems, different tissues, because they perform different functions. Therefore, they have different structures. They have different structures because their functions are different. So there are many cells. So many cells group together in a single body and they will assume different functions. When similar cells group, they form tissues. So to form various body parts in multicellular organisms. Multicellular organisms. Do you belong to unimolecular or multimolecular organism?
Multicellular.
We are multicellular. Our different body parts are made up of different tissues. Different tissues are made up of different collection of cells. Large number of cells collect together to form tissues. So, but such body parts in multicellular organism, multi mean many, some such as fungi, plants, and animals. They are all examples of multicellular organisms. And unicellular, we already shown you the names of that. Every multicellular organism have come from a single cell. Whatever organisms you are having, when I say multicellular organism, you have different organisms inside the body, different organ systems. They have to come from a single cell. Therefore, a single cell is a complete unit by itself. By collecting together, by repeating together, a large collection of these single cells, different cells will form tissues and they will perform their functions in the animals and human systems. So every multicellular has come from a single cell. How cells divide to produce cells of their own kind. As we said, cells are created from pre-existing cells. And how they divide from their own cells. All cells thus come from pre-existing cells. All cells come from pre-existing cells. Who gave this theory?
Virchow.
All right, important. This question was asked in the paper. That all cells come from pre-existing cells. Very important point. All cells come from pre-existing cells. That means cells divide to produce cells. Cells divide to produce the cells. Note down these points, students. They are very important points. All right, coming to the point, very important point. What are the living organisms made up of? Very important point is coming. What are the living organisms made up of? What are the living organisms made up of? All living organisms are made up of one or more cells, which are considered the fundamental units of life. Important. Even unicellular organisms are complex. Inside each cell, atoms make up molecules which make up cell organelles and structures. Further, even the cell is very complex because it is made up of atoms, and atoms make molecules, And this is what make up organelles and structures. In multicellular organisms, similar cells form tissues. You know, when similar cells they aggregate, similar cell aggregate, what they form? Tissues.
Tissue.
Small tiny cells, they are similar together. What will they form?
Tissue.
Similar cells. Similar cells will collect and they will form the tissues. And that is how the organs are produced. Cells are the basic building blocks of the living things. And how many cells are there in your body? Do you know how many cells are there in your body?
Sir, infinity.
What do you mean by infinity? I mean, there has to be a number because we are finite things. They are composed of trillions of cells, all with their own specialized function. There are trillions of cells, but different cells will form different tissues and they will perform specialized functions. Different functions will be performed by different tissues. We'll study all that. Okay, very good. We can say cells are the basic structures of all living organisms. Cells provide structure for the body. The body has a structure. Where it is coming from? Cells. Cells provide structure for the body. Take in nutrients from food and carry out important functions. Where they take food from? Food is coming where? In the cells, tell me.
Sir, no machine.
They take nutrients from food and then they will perform some important functions. Cells will group together to form tissues. Group of cells together, they are called tissues, which in turn group together to form organs. Heart is organ, brain is organs. And these then form organ systems inside your body. So cells are the basic structures of all living organisms. What are cells? Basic structures of all living organisms. Cells provide structure for the body. Take in nutrients from food and carry out important functions. Cells group together to form tissues, which in turn form organs. Our cells contain number of functional structure called organelles. What is inside the cell? Organelles. And our cells contain number of functional structures called organelles. These organs carry out tasks. What do the organelles do? They are making proteins, processing chemicals, generating energy for the cells. What they are doing? They are making proteins. They are making proteins. They are processing chemicals and they are generating energy for the cell also. They are generating energy for the cell. The nucleus is based at the center of the cell and control room for the cell. The cells have got, if this is a cell, there is a nucleus inside the cell. What they are saying? Nucleus. That nucleus is doing what? Control room for of the cell. Inside the body, what is your control room? Where is your control room?
Sir, heart.
Heart or your brain? Okay. That means we will study the structure of the cell, what it is made up of, then what is inside the cell, what are the functions of different organelles of the cell. Another experiment he says we will do. We can try preparing temporary mounds of leaf peels, tip of roots of onion, or even peels of onions of different sizes. After performing, let us see what answers to the following. Do all cells look alike in terms of shape and size? Tell me, do Do all cells look alike in terms of shape and size?
No, sir.
Do all cells look alike in structure?
No, sir.
Could we find differences among cells from different parts of plant and body? What similarities could we find? So here are questions about the cell. That what is a cell? Are they same? Are they different? Plant cells are there, human cells are there. What is the difference between them? What is the similarity? Some organisms also have cells of different kinds. Different kinds. Look at the following picture. It depicts some cells from the human body. See various cells from the human body. Inside the human body, what type of cells you are having? You have muscles.
Yes, sir.
This is a smooth muscle cell. Blood, there are blood cells. Nerve cell. Can you see the nerve cell?
No.
Fat cell, sperm, bone cell. You have bones, ovum. So you can see various cells from the human body. Are they looking same? Tell me.
No.
Are their structures same?
No, sir.
Are their functions same?
No, sir.
So they will perform different functions. They look different and their structures are also different. So you can see in our human body, you have different cells. So here we have shown some of them. Note down everything, note down. Everything is important when questions will be asked students. The more we write, the more we make our notes, better we are, so that we understand each and every word. Further, the shape and size of cells are related to specific function they perform. You know that we are saying different cells are there. They perform different functions. What do they do? Different cells perform different functions in the body. And this is related to their shapes and size. So that is what we are saying, the shape and size of cell related to their specific functions. Different functions, different shape and sizes cells are there. And amoeba, what it has, it have changing shapes. Have changing shapes. In some cases, cell shape could be more or less fixed. In some cases, cell shape could be more or less fixed. Could be more or less fixed and peculiar for a particular type of cell. It could be peculiar for a particular type of cell. Particular type of cell. It could be peculiar for a particular type of cell. For example, nerve cells have typical cell shape. So you have seen the shape of the nerve cell. It is very typical, very different. This nerve cell you can see. See, the shape is very typical nerve cell. Size is different. shape is different, then they are performing different functions. Each living cell has a capacity to perform certain basic functions that are characteristics of all living forms. Why do you need all these cells? What they are doing? They are performing some functions in the body, and different cells will perform different functions. Different cells will perform different functions, which are characteristics of living form. How does a living cell perform this basic function? These cells are different, so they perform different functions. Their functions are different. That is what we call division of labor in multicellular organisms, such as in human beings. In human beings, different cells have to perform different functions. What we say, there is a division of labor, in multicellular organisms. Division of labor in multicellular organisms, such as human beings. This means that different parts of human body perform different functions. Different parts of human body performs
Different.
functions. Can you give me examples, students? Give me examples.
Like the heart pumps blood.
Heart is there. Heart is an organ. Heart is made up of cells. The tissues of heart, they are made up of same type of cell. What is the function of the human heart?
To pump blood.
What it does? Heart pumps blood. You have lungs. What is the function of lungs? What the lungs are doing?
Respiration.
Respiration. Oxygen, inhale, exhale. You just did that exercise with me. So you are inhaling oxygen and exhale. What you are exhaling? Carbon dioxide. These are gases. And also then in the lungs, what happens? Blood will mix, take oxygen from the lungs and carry the food to the entire body. You have arteries, you have veins, you have kidney. What are the kidneys doing?
Filtering blood.
Filtration of the blood. And what happens? Why do you need filtration? Why do you need filtration? There are a lot of toxic nitrogenous compounds and other salts, excess salts in the body, excess water. It has to be excreted. If I don't excrete the excess salts, toxic substances or nitrogenous compound like urea and uric acid, what will happen? Tell me what will happen? Then they will get accumulated in the body, and what will be the result of that? It will cause death.
Yes.
So as there are muscles, what the muscles are doing? You have muscle cells, and you have just seen, you are inside the mind, they say there are neuron cells, nerve cells. You have seen the shape of the nerve cells, size of the nerve cell we have shown you. Therefore, our human being is a multicellular organism. and you have different type of cells, and the function of different type of cell is different. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So the question is coming. First question is coming. Questions are based on NCERT book. Who discovered the cells and how? First question is given the NCERT. Who discovered the cells and how, students?
Third cell was discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. He
Robert
observed a slice.
Hooke. Robert Hooke discovered the cell. How he discovered it?
Sir, he saw a slice of cork under his primitive microscope.
He used a slice of cork and he observed it in a microscope. Microscope he designed himself at that time. What the microscope will do? Tell me. What is the function of microscope?
Magnifies the object.
Okay. What is the next? Why is a cell called structural and functional unit of life? Why it is called
Cell is
structure? Huh?
called structural unit of life as it builds our body and it forms tissues, systems, organs, and
All living organisms are made up of
cells.
cells. Are made up of cells. An organism is functional outcome of all the activities performed by the cell. So what it does, it has to perform certain activities, certain type of function in order for the existence of the organism. So what happens, the cells have to perform certain activities. Different cells have to perform different activities, you know. Different cells will perform
Different activities.
different activities. What will be the result? Then only we can exist. Different activities for survival of organism, for the survival of organisms. So if we have to survive, then what is required? There are cells in the body, fundamental units. They have different shapes. You have seen different sizes. They have different structures. They perform different functions. And whatever functions, you know, you need energy, you need food, all these functions, who will do it? Who will do it? Inside the body. These cells will perform all these functions. And different cells will perform different functions, different activities for the survival of the organism, any living organism. Can we survive without that? No.
No, sir.
So the basic lecture was what is a fundamental unit of life and how it is discovered, what the structure and functions are. We will study now in the next lectures what is a cell, what is a cell wall, what is a nucleus, and what other type of difference, what is the difference between the animal cells and plant cells. All this will be studied in the coming lectures. Okay, then this is the first part. It is finished with the question have been answered. We will meet you in our next class. So please keep sharing all our videos with your friends so that they can learn science. We will be answering all the questions also, and we will try to make the lectures as easy as possible, so that the students can understand. Basically, everything we teach is science, but let it be physics, chemistry, or bio. So science means we should understand, we should learn, we should see what activities are there, what are experiments which can be performed, and then we will enjoy the sessions, and we must get a feeling of what we are studying. All right.
Yes, sir.
So at least whatever videos are there, you can send it to 5 to 10 friends, because we have to work very hard for these videos, and we want that these videos should reach more and more children. Okay. So if they will subscribe our channel, we will work more hard and bring more important questions for the students. All right, then I will see you in the next class.
Thank you.
Okay.